That's how you get
Hope this thing's on. There we go. All right, everybody. Hope y'all have had a great February so far. I know mine's been really cold. And once again, we really appreciate you all contributing your hard-earned money to us this past week during RGLove. And this week, we've got some bonus games we're going to be bringing to you as part of that effort, so thank you so much again for that. Essentially for this evening, I, LRock617, have been given the floor to just kind of do whatever I want. So I saw that there were 2 of my games on the bonus game list, so we're going to get both those played in first. And then past that, time allotted, I'll probably play a couple more for you just for fun. So this here is a game I put in RGL many times. I did submit it for the main schedule, which I usually tend to do. It's not only a game I played a lot casually growing up, but it was one of my first 10 speedruns. And I think from my first year of speedrunning, it's the only game I still run to this day. Simpsons Arcade, particularly the Japanese version, is incredibly fun. I greatly enjoy this speedrun. It has a lot going for it compared to the US version, especially in terms of speed. Those of us who played this before will know exactly what I'm getting at. Those who haven't, well, maybe it's time to play. Go ahead and just go over here. I can play all characters pretty well, but Marge is bae, so we'll pick her. Marge! She's who I've been grunting with most lately, so no reason to deviate, right? Okay, so the typical beat 'em up style, we walk right, we hit things. It's what we're good at. This guy comes down, do that. So this nuke is exclusive to the Japanese version, particularly the 2-player Japanese version. Kills 3 enemies at once. Run past this, throw the bus stop sign. Walk right a little bit. As you can see, we're flying through this stage pretty fast, and some of that actually has to do with the inherent mechanics in the game. The walk speed of any given character in this game is really fast, especially for a beat 'em up. Like, you're moving at a very accelerated pace. So we got this broom we're gonna use for our first boss. This is the Japanese version exclusive. That's very bad RNG. We'll talk about that in a moment. Really bad RNG. I think I just had bad spacing there. So our first boss can decide to just do the jumping attack out of hit stun sometimes. We don't really have any recourse for that. Just hope he doesn't do it. Like, if I were doing no reset attempts, that would be a reset for sure. Or if I were doing reset attempts, that'd be a reset for sure. But as it is, it's not a huge deal. Go to stage, we're gonna mash buttons. Low 2 is pretty bad, but this is pretty normal for first bonus stage. Definitely do worse at this one I do at the second one, just because conditioning. For our second stage, we're gonna start off by hitting that guy. I was trying to do the booty. You can see I'm doing the rump shaker here quite a bit. This attack is a one-shot against the most basic of enemies, which is the enemies we see throughout most of the game. Did not want him doing that. Okay. There we go. Every character has a move similar to this, where you just press both buttons at once, and it does way more damage than a basic attack, and we're between 2 and 3 times as much. For any enemy that doesn't have 1 HP, it's pretty much exactly where you want to be. So this hammer is available in every version of the game. However, in the Japanese version, hammer has an exclusive move. That's this dive I'm doing here. This dive is not available in the more common US or world version of the game. It's pretty busted. It lets us just plow through enemies super fast. We just get a moving hitbox that's mostly invincible from the front. Hit you? Okay, I mistimed that. I understand. This is awkward. Yeah, I mistimed the heck out of that. Should be fine though, but that is annoying. There we go. Misspaced a few things there. Take this. Face some problems. You guys being a troll. So our second boss, we have this giant crusty balloon. If we didn't have hammer, this thing would be pretty annoying, but hammer's really good here. That bomb splash is just RNG. There was nothing I could do to prevent that. We want him to do that, because it's only a 3-cycle fight. Whether or not he goes to the back and does the rain of cherry bombs is random, so you just hope it doesn't happen. There's not much you can do if it does. Just wait it out. Okay, so on to stage 3. Man, these enemies are frisky today. What is going on here? I know I'm playing for an audience, I guess. Okay, so stage 3, in my opinion, is where the game starts, like, really picking up. Thank you, IM. Appreciate it. Like, the difficulty in this stage really can't be overstated. It's not super hard by comparison to a lot of things, but enemies do start forming in much tighter clumps, and they're much more difficult, better weapons. These umbrellas are not to be messed with. Take that, please. Thank you. Okay, dropping some inputs there. Anti-air this guy coming out of the tree. Hit you. So we have a slingshot. Slingshot's really good here. In the Japanese version, it actually one-shots these zombie enemies, whereas it does not in the more common versions. Line ourselves up here. Quick little speed kill that missed. So I had some bad luck there. When you throw the slingshot like that, it's supposed to kill both of those enemies as they spawn, but the guy on the left gave me a pattern that I don't really see that often. So we had to dispose of him normally. Didn't get the cool looking kill. So because to beat him up, we have an elevator stage. This one you can actually time scan, which is pretty awesome. Similarly to the skateboard stage in TMNT Arcade, we can just wear out these enemies. Just let them follow us to the bottom. Don't kill anything. There's no reason to, unless you're playing for score. If you're playing for score, obviously you hit everything that moves. But here I'm just gonna bleed the clock and ride to the bottom. Then once I reach the bottom floor, then I'm gonna take care of them and get to move on. That happens sometimes. Okay, so for this boss here, there's actually a quick kill I'm gonna set up for. Do it right here in this brown line. Take a few swings, get my timing in. Except for that one jump, that was perfect. Can't gripe about that. Really, really solid kill. The only timing tick is that you have to, how do I put this? You have to delay the inputs between the second and the third hit to get it correctly. Come in. So on to stage 4. Stage 4 is honestly pretty easy, I think. Certainly easier than stage 3, even though I just took a hit there. So this is him, so I can get this broom. Broom's no better or worse than hammer. I just prefer to throw hammer there because it's faster to take that guy out than go chase him. And we can just recoup another weapon right after that. Very much a speed strat. Do a little dance. What are you doing? Sometimes with a dive, regardless of which weapon you have, the hitboxes are a little bit too specific. Which can mean stuff like that happens sometimes. So what I'd like to do is try to despawn this guy in the pink shirt. May not need to. Yeah, never mind. It's more fun to despawn him as you run away to the boss. Speaking of our boss, try and line up behind him. As long as you're doing these short hops behind him, He can't touch you. He can't hit me out of this. It was a little bit misspaced. Like, as long as I'm tidying this as a meaty, he should never be able to break out. Like so.
How's my hair?
Pretty reasonable fight. Missed the one hit, but I misspaced it. It's my fault. Get me onto the butt. Butt's got some annoying parts. The opening where you kind of just have to take the enemies as they come. They spawn from different segments of the screen, so you can't really go that quickly. Like, there's no grouping of enemies here. I was hoping to get all three. That's fine. I want to see if I can set that up. Some more purple goons. Grab this rock. I've got a quadruple kill setup I'm going to do here. Got it. Come here. Take this corn. So in the Japanese version, one thing I forgot to mention, you can actually get health beyond max health. Essentially temporary health. Anything beyond peak is temporary health. We don't get to retain at the end of the stage, but we get to keep it for the stage as long as we have it. Over here I'm going to throw slingshots, brick this broom. As we take care of that one lumberjack, we're going to get to move on to the boss. Get a double kill there. So this very used to be a really hard fight, but then a runner by the name of Makina Azul discovered that there's a broom there just chilling in the back. It turns this fight into something completely trivial. The only thing not trivial about it is the RNG, particularly the boulders falling. That's unfortunate. Mistimed that. Also timed that throw too early. You're supposed to be able to combo that into hit and then throw.
How's my hair?
And you can't do anything about it because it just hits him on the first active frame, but I timed the throw a little bit too early. So we missed it, but that's okay. We're able to finish him off with one more hit. This is part of our story. Maggie gets kidnapped again. Because that's all she does in this game. Marge goes sploosh. Now we're on to Dreamland. This is actually one of the scarier stages, initially. Mainly because every group of enemies in this game and every kind of enemy in this stage is exclusive to this stage. You don't see any of these enemies anywhere else, so you're having to come up with entirely new patterns for everything. Very much a gatekeeper for first-time players. Saxophones are by far the hardest enemies, but with that strat there, you can take them out pretty handily. The power plant workers get taken out with these letters. Sorry, exclamation in this case. Put them all in a row. There we go. This guy, try to get a double kill. Sweet. Okay, this nuke was a discovery by a runner named Zersh. This nuke was a godsend. These Bart Devils used to be really difficult enemies until the nuke was discovered. Makes very quick work of them. Take care of that. Okay, so for a bowling ball boss, I'm going to spawn that bowling ball weapon. It's also a Japanese exclusive. I have to let him do that. 2 more hits. You can't hit him a number of times before the cycle ends. Missed a hit. The bowling ball is supposed to hit twice, which means it's supposed to hit before he leaves. But I mistimed it. He got one more cycle and jumps out of it, not a big deal. Also, while he's changing phases of the fight, he's actually invincible. I only do this to maintain rhythm. Like, while he's transforming into this long arm of the law, this isn't actually hurting him. I'm just making sure I can keep rhythm by doing this, so I can make sure that when I'm ready to hit him, I'm gonna do it. And that takes him out. That's another bowling ball hiding in the mailbox. That strat works on every version of the game, which is really nice. Now we get to wake up. Wonder if Kirby should have made a cameo there. It is Dreamland after all.
Ready?
This bonus stage is largely a bit faster than the first one. And it's not just because I've been playing it for a while at this point, it ends before the first one would. In the US and world versions, these bonus stages are critical because they're the only way you can heal your health to max. Health carries over from stage to stage. You can pick up healing items, but they don't help a ton. The Japanese version, health always refills, which is great. Take that, please. Go bowling. Meant to hit that guy too, but that's okay. So Channel 6 would be a really hard stage, except we get a hammer right at the beginning. And hammer just trivializes a lot of the things we have to deal with. That was unfortunate. I did not want that to happen. Okay. Can we get some double kills? Single kills? These contain food, so I'm gonna go ahead and take advantage of that. Okay. One always contains food. Sometimes both do, but it's random. Okay, so for the robot, which is our mid-boss, dodge a laser, do a dive, dodge a laser, do a dive. There's actually a despawn I'm gonna go for here. If you kill those two guys really quickly, there would normally be an enemy that spawns in the door at the top, but he fails to spawn if you kill those two guys quickly enough. You just get to, like, basically speed your way past the sensor. It's really nice. Kill that guy. Probably should have moved on first, but that's okay. So we have these enemies that are most definitely not foot soldiers in any way, shape, or form. Or in any other Konami game. Good old pie in the sky. We also get a nice music change up in this segment. Clearly they knew it was popular here. Hello? Take your hit, please. Okay, so our boss is gonna spawn. We got a few more enemies to deal with. So our Shogun friend here can be annoying. But dives are really, really good. As we've proven. See if I can get him in the corner. So I'm having it. He can jump cancel out a hit stun, which is pretty annoying, and not at all irrelevant. That was unfortunate. You definitely want to make sure that ninja's taken care of quickly, but you sometimes don't have that luxury. Okay, got a 5-cycle fight out of it, that's very good. He can actually jump cancel out of the last hit of the 5th cycle and force another cycle. Also random, which is really stupid, but it's a thing that happens sometimes. Thankfully it didn't happen that time. Okay, in our quest to get our baby back, we were moving on to the final stage. The old nuclear painter plant. Last stage is basically the crank and shredder of this game. It's just 2 boss fights. First one's a fair bit easier than the second one. Without proper knowledge, Smithers is really hard. His cape swipe is just an annoying attack that you don't ever want to deal with. But thankfully I have strats. We're gonna do 5 hits, dodge a hit, 1 hit, dodge another, and I'm gonna do this 5 times. That's 3, that's 4, that's 5, dodge 1 more, and now I should just be able to full combo him. And 1 more, there we go. Yeah, 16 hits is all it takes. He's actually really easy. They mostly spawn on the left, that's not great.
Look out, world!
Okay, so.
Welcome to your grave, sucker.
So the Burns fight pretty much defines whether the run's a success or not. We did a run the isotope for the first phase. I did not want that to happen. Misspaced the heck out of that. Push him all the way. Okay, so what I'm about to do is exclusive to this version of the game. Because in other versions of the game, he can't suffer stun lock. He gets iframes after every hit. The goal is you push on the bookcase, and we just rhythmically tap. You can tell by the ASMR.
How's my hair?
Got past the hardest phase. Second phase is by far the hardest of the 5. From here, I'm just gonna hope to do the same. That was a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. Okay. Okay, for our last phase, he's gonna bounce around a bit, and he's trying to escape, but as long as my rhythm's good, he shouldn't be able to get out of this. If I drop a hit, he gets to break out of it. We don't want that. So good execution is definitely required here. Keep swinging away. Alright, good fight. Time's gonna be when Maggie falls on Burns. Ta-da! I also don't know why Mr. Burns is 7 feet tall in this game. That was certainly a choice. Maggie pops in the pacifier. Keeps the diamond because I guess the Simpsons are criminals now. Bunch of cameos with characters in weird colored clothes. Nelson and Skinner in particular don't wear clothes of those colors. Bartley says the excuse that he wore blue in season 1 sometimes. Yeah, this is actually a shot from a season 1 episode. I forget the name of it, but it was the electroshock therapy episode. But yeah, overall, this game, I'm a big fan. It's definitely not in the upper echelon of beat 'em ups in terms of, how do I put this, testing the player. Konami kind of had a formula for what they were doing with stuff like this, and it was very easy to appeal to younger gamers like myself. But as a speedrun, I think this game's awesome. It has a lot of really cool strats. It has really high damage and movement speed, particularly for a beat 'em up of this ilk. And turning that into an actual speedrun that I've been working on for better part of 8 years, very enjoyable. Oh, so now they're not criminals anymore. I don't know who's getting the diamond, but I guess we are. We're the real diamonds we had all along. Or something to that effect. Fortunately, Konami also doesn't let you sign your name in numbers. So I'll just do it for the team. If numbers are available, I always use 617. But this month we're doing it for the love. Anyway, that's one game. Thank you all so much for hanging out for that. I'm gonna switch up to the next game now. Let me see. I think I should be able to just use this version here. Oh. Hang on, I gotta empty these. Oh. So the ROM of this game has this weird thing where, like, if you reset the internal settings, it retains credits, and I had credits inserted from a save state because I was practicing. So anyway, this is a game I've actually never played on RGL before. It has been featured in 2 Coin-Op Classic events by other runners. Lord BBH back in 2018, which is when I discovered the game, and 2023 by Murphigator, both of whom 1CC'd it, and that's my goal today. This is a game I first cleared, I think it was back in, it was either late 2023 or early 2024, I can't remember. It took a few grind sessions to get this one down, but this game is an interesting dichotomy for a few reasons. One, it has great music, as you can plainly tell. Like, Sunsoft and Sega both worked on this game, and so the soundtrack is just ridiculous. Like, every stage is a banger. Second, this game has no designated narrative. So what you're seeing here for the kill screen, it just shows things you'd normally see, the game name along with the title screen. You see small snippets of gameplay, you see score rankings, you see the dev and the copyright. But this game has no built-in narrative. So one of the running gags of this game is people who play it just kind of come up with their own stories. So you're playing as one of 2 guys who are wearing what appear to be office clothes. And you're going around getting in fights with enemies who are mostly bigger than you, and we don't really know why. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Okay, give me 1 second. I know what happened. I overrode it with my, my Dragon's Lair layout from last week, and main was not loaded onto that. I played the Steam version of Dragon's Lair. Let me do this properly. There we go. That looks a lot better. Okay. Thank you for the heads up, though. I apologize for the technical error. So anyway, this is what you're seeing out of it. I'm glad you at least got to hear the music as a preview, right? So yeah, we'll go ahead and pop our credit in. Control doesn't start until we take control of character. So yeah, we start the game off by popping out of the back of a truck. For reasons undefined. We have no clue why we're doing any of this. But the cool thing is we get to start the game off with a bat. Weapons in this game are very good. We're going to be using them a lot. Hopefully for the entire game if I can help it. So this is banger number 1. We're just running around beating up dudes with our spiked baseball bat. You also get some really awesome voice clips in this game. Japanese version doesn't contain these, and I'm not sure why. Of note, I do believe the pipe is worth more points if you use it, but we get a bat earlier, so I do it for the speed. Continue to walk forward. I also don't know what he says there. It sounds like he's saying "let's fail," which is a really stupid thing to say, but meh, we run with it. You can see weapon shots are kind of obnoxiously good. They always cause knockdown. Take anywhere from 2 to 4 hits to finish off, depending on the enemy type. Yeah, this, even before I, like, really learned how to get down to the nitty-gritty of this game, I always appreciated it, because for reasons I've already stated, the music is amazing. Like, songs from this game will randomly get stuck in my head. So here we have our first boss segment. Until the next to last stage, any enemy we fight on the boss segment of a given stage, we'll see as regular enemies later. We have these two larger enemies that make really weird noises when they get hit. So that clears stage 1. And a couple things I want to note. Here's where the difficulty pops in this game. It's only a 1 life game per credit. There's also no continues. There's also no health ups. The only way we get health back is by completing a stage, we get 2 health pellets back. So it's pretty unforgiving in that regard. If the gameplay were any more complex than hit enemy with weapon, knock them down, this game would be substantially harder. As it is, it's pretty tough, but because you can just do this and win, it's forgiving in that regard at least. But they also really wanted to put it to the player. Also, let's climb the cube puzzle for fun. This song also rules. Whee! Yo. There, we're now in this underground parking garage. I believe one possible narrative for this game is that these guys got back from the plumbing convention, hence the pipes. Now, why the enemies have all these pipes, I have no clue. Alright, that's pretty mean. They can hit you directly below you, but not vice versa. That's unfortunate. When you start getting hit enough to lose your weapon, things get really bad, so I'm actually in trouble. Did not want to trade that. And corner these guys here. Okay, so ideally I'd like to not take any more hits because I can only be refilled back up to 8 here if I don't take more hits. You can see our sunglasses wearing enemy was our boss last stage, but here he's basic. Those enemies also have amazing reach when they have weapons, as you can probably guess. So our boss segment for this stage features an enemy that is referred to as Mohawks. Mohawks are a problem. Not only do they have the ridiculous reach advantage of our Arnold-based enemies, but they also have much better normal attacks. They have this chop that tracks well in both directions, so he can just dominate the Z-axis, as he just demonstrated. Like, that move is just messed up. It's cost me so many runs. You have to take him out at least. Now I can just stuff his wake up. We finish. One more. Okay. Here we go. The good news is it's going to bring us back to full health. Also love this part of the narrative. So now we're in the sewer for some reason. Another banger of a track. So there's actually a speed strat you can utilize by lining up in the bottom pixel to try to knock enemies off. It works a lot of the time, but if it doesn't work and you get hit, you're in a ton of trouble. Oh yeah, enemies can hit each other sometimes too, which is great. I do not want that guy with the pipe to get advantage on me. Yeah, that's what I didn't want. Oh my god, how is that a trade? That guy can duck, but you can realign with him and take him out. This segment's also a little bit dangerous. We also get introduced to a new enemy. You have these enemies in leather jackets that can do jump kicks that are really, really good. Jump kicks can close the gap, like, really, really well. Like, it's really hard to outspace these guys if they line up with you well ahead of you getting to hit them. I'm gonna try to make sure that doesn't happen. They have low health. They only take 3 hits, which is nice. But they're still really strong. They can also wield a knife and all kinds of other nonsense. So here we have a real danger in this game, these rolling pins. I don't know why these are here, but we have to deal with them. Time to jump. You don't want to miss those jumps. If you get hit, you lose 2 full health pellets. They do a lot of damage. That was very unfortunate. Also unfortunate. I need this. I'm definitely in trouble. I have to redistribute with that guy. Okay. So we got the quick kills there. I got kind of bamboozled because I had 2 enemies approach me at the same time, and if you can't hit one into another with that, you're not going to get an advantage. It's just not going to happen. Okay, so now we're a little bit deeper into the sewer. What looks like a factory assembly line. I'm actually going to start by going left. Hit this guy who comes from the dark. Pin him against the wall. With luck, I should be able to pin every enemy here against the wall. Another good song. Okay. Oh, too early. That's fine though. Thankfully I didn't get punished. We'll see jump kick eventually. Right now, just do it just for funsies. This guy's the bigger threat. I want to try and focus on him if I can. Now because there's another enemy with a pipe, I have to focus on him. That's unfortunate. Don't normally like to be up here, but I kind of had to retreat. These guys and the sleeveless are the easiest enemies by far. They only take 2 hits to take down. Dun, 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 dun. Soundtrack just has so much bass. Okay, so I got another Arnold enemy. I get as many hits on him as I can, which is only going to be 2. Timed that well. I hate not being able to line up those enemies correctly. That's not good. Yes, I got a duck. So to crouch in this game, you have to press punch and kick at the same time. That also acts as a weapon pickup. You can't just like press A button to pick up a weapon like it's Final Fight or something. You have to do a double button input. Get out of here. Done. Okay. Okay, this last segment here is actually pretty difficult. We've got 2 Mohawk enemies. And they have a lot of space to work with. I also tend to prefer it if they have the high ground, because I think it's easier to hit them. Call it personal preference. I'm gonna stay on him. Make him my focus. Okay. Missed that. It's fine though. Don't once. So this is another thing they can do. They can move along the Z-axis faster than you can. So if they want to line up with you to a point where they have advantage, that's what they're going to push for. And they usually get it. This guy also has delayed wake up, which is really annoying to try to time your hit with. I usually wait till I see his head shaking and then give a swing. Yeah, I can see that. And crouching for defense isn't particularly good, but sometimes, you know. So here's our elevator stage, which I'm totally not being serious about. It just takes us to our next stage. So we're getting a little bit further up into the sewer here. So there's a couple strats I like to utilize for this first segment. If I can line these guys up on the stairs and they cooperate, I can just kill them from here, which is really useful. But as mentioned, that's entirely up to whether or not they cooperate. If they decide to go up top and try to go around me, like this guy's doing right now, I don't have any recourse. I have to I had to play by their rules. Very unfortunate when it happens, but it's just the game sometimes. That's the other strat. You can just hit him off that that little hole sitting there. Where are you going? Oh my god. Give me that. That was such a lame trade. If that knocked that pipe off, that could have been a show. Oh, there's a bat here. We're good. Up the pipes. I'm trying to line myself up here at the bottom. Get better leverage this way. I don't know where he's going, but I don't like what he's doing. Go down here. So that was useful until it wasn't. That guy decided to dance around like an idiot, so had to go deal with it. There we have another hole we can knock enemies into, and this, what I guess is smelting iron. We can just call it lava for funsies. Alright, so this guy definitely didn't cooperate. There's also an enemy behind that pole back there. I am not going to try and deal with him yet. If he wants to isolate himself, it's fine. Don't mind the timer at the top. The timer is never going to run out. It only really matters for score. Like, they are fast in-game seconds for the most part, but still not going to run out of time. We effectively have minutes per stage. Oh, really? Okay, so this last segment, we've got a conveyor belt, which can definitely be used to our advantage, and I'd like to make sure that it does happen. Take care of him, do this. Okay, so I'm gonna try and do some fancy maneuvering here. Maybe I can get him to fall, maybe not. There we go. Okay, so the most dangerous enemy's out of commission. Love that. Did not want that to happen. Now if he falls, I can't retain a weapon. There we go. I've actually lost a weapon that way. Getting a trade at the same time they would get knocked down and they fall off the conveyor belt and I have to start stage 6 without a weapon. It's not fun. Thankfully we came out of it with good health. And we have a weapon. Now we're in the penthouse. I don't know how you get from the sewers to the penthouse, but I guess it's not for me to worry about. So this enemy's pretty special. We only see him in this stage. It's another leather jacket wearing enemy. But for some reason his sprite, instead of walking, spins in place. Like he's dancing. It's really weird and it's really funny and I'm glad it's here. That's unusual. Okay. We'll be seeing more of him later. Okay. That first segment can get kind of hairy. I try to stay on top for maximum leverage. There's definitely an argument for going to the bottom and trying to get it there too. Love that skyline outside, don't you? Come here. Yeah, I forgot about that guy. That's bad. This is not what I need right now. I need to play better. Oh my god. Yeah, this is a bad segment. Yeah, that was rough. I did not need that to happen. Thankfully the game is still finishable. We're on stage 6 of 8, so we don't have too much further to go, but that was still rough. Getting flanked in this game is real bad, especially when they have weapons.
Yo.
Of course, he got in the way first. This stage is kind of make or break sometimes. I've had a lot of runs that went really well until this stage. That was by the fact I lost 4 health pellets. So there's a strat I'm going to go for here. Walk up here, come back. This is our boss segment for this stage. It's just a bunch of these leather jacket dudes. I'm going to try and just stack up damage here. Hope for minimal jump kicks. Minimal crouching too. Don't like it. Yeah, this is bad. I don't want you behind that podium. I need to be able to see you. As you can tell by the jump kick, that thing closes distance pretty well. As long as you can line them up with you and just let them walk into your path of destruction like that, you're good to go. Yeah, this stage's theme is very good. Good penthouse music. Okay, so only 63% of max health going to the last stage with enemies. Small spoiler, stage 8 is just a boss fight. Stage 7 is essentially a last gauntlet hit squad and our first actual boss of the game. As in, like, the enemy is exclusively a boss. We don't see him again. I couldn't time that. Yeah, not good. Need to focus on him. I also did not know he'd be able to close distance that quickly. That's bad. He didn't hit me, which is awesome. Ooh, they're just not having it right now. As soon as that guy goes down, he has an assist call just waiting. That's how it's playing out so far anyway. Get some damage. Arnold there is just not taking a hint. If I can 1v1 one of these guys, we'll be better off. More. There we go. Okay, so our hit squad here has some interesting bits. So there's our stage 7 boss. Also, check out the eyes on the painting in the back. Nothing weird about that, right? Of note, if any weapon ends up on the top platform, we lose it forever. So the only weapons we have available to us are the ones that are going to be on the floor, actual floor that we're walking on right now. Don't love that at all. That's not good. Alright, let me stop being exasperated. Oh my goodness, that spacing was perfect. Congratulations. This is when this game really starts to turn it up. It can start just being a real big pain. Yeah, that chop is really fast. I'm proud of you. I think that guy's out. No, not quite. Okay. Now I'll be able to focus on him. One more hit. I probably should have stayed on him, but nice block. Blocks, even. Okay, so back to the roller pins. Got 4 of these we have to dodge. These do 2 apiece, and I'm at 3, so you can imagine I'm a little scared right now. Yeah. One more. Alright, very good. So now our actual boss. There's a faster strat for this that I'm not quite good at yet, so I'm just gonna go for the safer strat that I'm a little better at. That's really bad. Okay, so I'll retrieve my weapon later. The safer strat here is to just do jump kicks like this. Hatchet does a lot of damage, as you can tell. It does a full bar of health. Don't want to get hit by it. Its kick is not quite as threatening, but you still want to get hit by it. This doesn't do much damage, but it's pretty consistent. Did not want to trade that, but okay. Let him line up just like the other guys. Tell him to get up. Whole bunch. Cool. Okay. So that takes out our stage 7 boss. And to conclude our narrative, here we have this woman just caged up in the back. Drop our weapon, we free her, we walk out with her. Apparently we try to get really, really close, and she's not having it. I do not know why any of this is happening, nor does anybody, but everybody can have their own theories, I suppose. But as it turns out, the real twist, she's the final boss. Did not want that to happen. Alright, so this is already really bad behavior. I'm trying to get her to the right. Yeah, she is not behaving the way I want her to at all. Okay, this is a little bit better. So what I'd like her to do is go up to the side of the building. Then we can just do that, and that's game. So here's the real meme of the game. When you beat the game, the score countdown is gonna tick 10,000 points onto my score for every second left on the clock. So, and you can't speed this up. Like, you can't press a button to bypass all this. So, for the sake of the joke, I say we just wait it out, because why not? It's also such a pleasant noise, isn't it? Hello, FDI. I believe the score should get about, I think it's like somewhere between 8.5 and 9 million. The game's doing taxes, yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. I'm actually really happy I was able to 1cc this. This has not been a consistent 1cc for me in my library, so that's pretty cool. Stage 6 was a little hairy, but I think everything else went pretty well for the most part. Also, I love how the skyline looks, and I'm disappointed y'all didn't get to hear more of the music, because the last stage music is really, really good. But, she took the easy way out. She got on the ledge of the building, she jumped, and we threw her off the roof. $8.7, okay. So now we walk back. We get our congratulations message. And here's a weird one. So, the ending scene shows us next to her prone body. I think this is how it's supposed to be if we had, like, knocked her out on the roof itself. So I can't explain this. Was there, like, a lower platform? We go down there and got her there? I have no idea. We also get some really great music to close it out. The name entry music is one of the best in the game, and you don't get to hear it that much. Thank you all for the GGs. The end, and we don't even know what the story was. So you actually get to enter quite a few initials here, so let's just go for the gusto, shall we? There is a timer on this, so I gotta go kind of quickly. Ta-da! Good beats. Yeah, that's Tough Turf. Game I've very much been enjoying. It's also released in a year when like 1989 was kind of a banner year for beat 'em ups. That was also the release year of Golden Axe, TMNT, and Final Fight. So Tough Turf had a good amount of competition for a game that essentially just wanted to be like a clone of Double Dragon in a lot of ways. All right, I'm gonna turn on the arcade sounds. We'll load up our next game. I gotta change some things in the layout, so it'll be just a moment. Appreciate everybody's patience. Oddly enough, without the weapons, you still have pretty formidable combat. Punch is very good. Punch is an extremely good tool. It's just that in the majority of cases, weapons are better. Okay, so for our next game, I'm actually gonna load up the Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection. This might be a bit loud, but I'm actually doing this for somewhat that reason. This game, Punisher, when you're loading it up in MAME, for some reason has a really, really low sound chip, and I don't understand why. Capcom's normally pretty good about that kind of thing. Like, they wanted everybody to hear Street Fighter, and this came out 2 years after that, so I don't understand it. I know it's a black screen. I'll make sure that gets changed here soon. I'm trying to make it to where I don't have to add it until I'm actually in game. But I appreciate your all's patience. That should work. Wrong one. You will hear some in-game music here in just a moment. There we go. This actually might be the ideal way to play this game. Interesting. Okay, so there's gonna be letterbox on it no matter what I do. Fair enough. Alright, so there's that. Once again, appreciate your all's patience. So, this game is pretty amazing. This was the Punisher is the first Capcom beat 'em up I learned to 1cc back in really early portion of the pandemic. It was a game I was only somewhat familiar with growing up, but I don't think I ever saw a cabinet for it. But if people ask me my favorite X for any number of subgenres of this game, this usually is the #1 pick for me. Like, this is my favorite Capcom beat 'em up. It's my favorite Marvel beat 'em up. This game just really has a lot to offer. After learning the 1cc, I put it on hold for a few years, and then this past year I learned the speedrun. And the speedrun got me to be a lot more consistent with it, so I enjoy it a lot more now. I loved it then, but I like it like a lot more now, because the speed tech in this game is actually really fun. So this game, it's only a 2-player game, which was normal for Capcom at the time, but even their 2-player games had the option to play, like, more than 2 different characters. You can only play 2 players at a time. So like Final Fight, you had Cody, Guy, and Hagar, but even though you had 3 characters, you could only have 2 players. This game not only reduced it to 2 and 2, but it also assigned characters to specific inputs, similar to how like TMNT and Simpsons did in 6-player X-Men. So if you're playing as player 1, you're always Punisher. Player 2 is always Fury. I've 1cc'd and speedrun the game with both characters, and while they're not completely interchangeable, they both have their pros and cons. I think it's more accepted that Fury is the better character overall, but I tend to do better in speedruns, in particular with Punisher. Oh, Kircher's there. Get rid of that. Hang on. No. There we go. Yeah, this game's sweet. It has a lot of really cool different combat tricks you can use. Oh, that's not what I wanted. We're gonna go ahead and just fire in our credit. Playing as Frank. So start off as a speed tech. Tell enemies to say their prayers. Knock down that guy, drop a grenade. We're gonna be seeing quite a few of grenades here in this run. So this game's music is sick. I like this song quite a bit in particular. Stage 4 is my favorite stage theme, but this one's up there too. Drop a grenade. These other guys spawn, drop one more. Now I need the knife. Okay, accidental weapon pickups are also a thing in this game. So here's our first boss, Scully. Also, that estimate should be 25. I didn't change it. That's unfortunate. Okay. Let me see if I can fix that real fast. I'm really picky about that kind of thing. I want to make sure I'm perfectly represented. I've only gotten to sub 20 in this game once ever, so. And also, the best character in the game is in this segment. That's the bus driver, who gives us a thumbs up for committing horrible crimes on his bus. Okay, so now we're on Pentabarda, chasing down a criminal. Get our giant swing. Giant swing's really good. It's essentially a Super Joy that's done out of a grab. So I'm gonna grab this guy, walk over here, drop a grenade, splash them onto the wall, throw her into the wall, bring him down with the axe. Axe does a lot of damage, so we get good use out of it. Bust this open, take a grenade. Bust the window. Oh, we gotta throw this. I should have gone for a double kill there, but mis-executed it. It's also random as to whether or not you get it, but you definitely can't get it if you mess it up like I just did. Another grenade. Wanted to throw this guy. Drop this grenade, get this hammer. Okay. Move on with our flamethrower. With good RNG, this should allow us to get a decent quick kill on this boss. So we have the guard droid who wipes out this criminal we were chasing. Cool, we got good RNG there. Dash jump kick, 3 flamethrower hits. Missed the dash jump kick there. Should be okay, I think. Okay, so missed a little bit of damage, but that's okay. So this part of our narrative, turns out this guard droid was stolen from Dr. Doom by the Kingpin, which is probably my favorite part of this whole story because, you know, it's rats out that it was Kingpin, probably because Doom programmed it to do so. Anti-theft technology and such, which is exactly the kind of thing Doom would do. Okay, so you probably noticed it a couple times in previous stages. We have what's called gun segments, where we get to use a gun in lieu of our essential basic combat skills. This is really, really bad. I lost gun already. Before I had to deal with Gus. Had really bad RNG there. Okay, so the biggest threat is out of the way. Okay, we're fine. This. Drop a grenade. I really don't want to have to do that, but I need to spawn this car. With 2 hits from that roundhouse kick, we get to destroy the car before any other enemies can spawn, turning it into only a 1 enemy threat. That was not good. Ooh, okay. So this stage on low health can get really dicey. I got some work to do. Knife guys in particular are consistently a problem. Okay, so I'm gonna take this M16. Take out these ninja enemies, line up with these pretty boys, drop another grenade. They'll drop some healing items. They won't help too much, but they'll help a little bit. Up this balcony. No, I didn't want to do that. I'm trying to keep this axe. I need to be able to keep it for as many hits as I can for the boss. Beat these enemies down. Go ahead and take this hot dog. Need this axe. Okay, cool. So normally I'd have 8 hits here, but I got that accidental hit. So Bonebreaker's kind of a jerk. We have good strats for him, though. That was a really mean pattern that I just got there. Anytime he teleports like that, we're not going to have a good time. Yeah, that's bad, too. Can I pick that up still? Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's bad too. I don't get any more healing. Okay, I have to really mind my manners here. Don't want to use too much on grenades. I don't want to spawn the 3rd wave of enemies. We'll do that. Okay. That was actually really dicey. When he got that shred hit on me and I had to do a super joy to cancel a hit stun, that was really scary, but we managed to do it deathless. We did get really lucky having a good secondary weapon. The weapon that spawns during that fight is random. You always get axe to start it from the top, but the second weapon you get is a random melee weapon. It can be a bat, it can be a sword, it can be another axe. Sword is the second best after axe, but you still really want another axe, but sword can get the job done. Bat's by far the worst. So the bonus stage, I just do the speed strat, just don't shoot anything. Score does matter in this game. You get another extend at 1.8 million, but we'll hit that before the end of stage 4, no problem. This is by far my favorite song in the game. I love this song. Very spooky. Something really bad's about to happen, and it kind of is, because we're getting ready to go on the Danger Express. Okay, so Pipe's also not a very good melee weapon, but we'll take it. Onto the train. To the rails. Pipe has really, really good frame data, but the damage is pretty bad. Alright, so this segment I need things to definitely go my way. That was not things going my way. So we got this axe. Axe is really, really good here. That's unfortunate. Expected, but unfortunate. This game never shies away from an opportunity to just stick it to you. That dude is a coward. Okay, got a fresh axe. Very good. Definitely want that. Did not want that to miss, though. Plus this. So axe is quite good. Whether or not we actually get it is random, but you get it more often than you don't. Grenade to take those bozos out. Okay. Alright, so we got our knife. Go to this conveyor belt segment. Roll in. Our knife combo. Knife combo is really good. I'm gonna max it out whenever the game lets you. So from here, I'm just gonna make sure I can keep the knife spawn. The other weapons are just what they are. I'd rather not have a bat as my secondary choice, because Yan Li can be kind of a jerk. Yeah, see what I mean? He has this jab that sometimes outranges weapons. It's kind of ridiculous. Alright, here I actually have to brawl with him. Okay, so grab this knife. Hit squad for this stage is a problem, for sure. Especially if Gus breaks the throw, which he did. Very unlucky. Okay, so I got him to the wall regardless. As many knife combos as the game will let me. I'm actually going to try and save these knives from here. I'm just going to do roundhouse combos. This will take some time, but it'll be worth it. Resources are incredibly important here. This is maybe the hardest boss fight in the game. Bushwhacker is special. Go for this early knife combo, do a sweep. Break that to get away. Oof. His jab is a problem too. Don't want that ever. Yeah, I didn't want that to happen either. That's also bad. So this is what becomes an issue. Bushwhacker is just a one-man arsenal. He can cause so many problems at any range. His jab is really good. His missile launcher is a huge problem, as you can plainly tell. Can't seem to get any footing. Like, I really want to try and get another knife combo on him. There we go. Okay. Thankfully, I get to finish it. Bad news is we're out of grenades. Grenades are really good in this fight. Okay, so... if I can just keep up the pressure, it should be okay. Okay, very good. The last 2 times I've done that run for an event, I've taken a death on that fight, so... yeah, the schedule does not post the schedule of this. This is just a bonus game stream. Doing just a few arcade classics that I submitted for the event but didn't make it on the main schedule. And again, thank you all for the donations for unlocking these. It's a really good fight there. Well, it could have been better, but it turned into the fight we needed it to be, and that's good enough. Okay, so stage 5 is going to start us off with this gun segment. Now deep into the sewers, so we're doing the opposite of Tough Turf, where we worked our way out of the sewers. Or into the sewers and then out. I wanted to throw him backwards, but okay. Do this. Drop a nade. I want to make sure I keep that axe. Anything else is fine. Okay, so I'll swap out for the axe. Axe really good. Does a lot of damage. Take that out. This guy with the flamethrower is actually an issue. Very glad I was able to take him out in one axe combo. Take this cheese. Use the knife because it's here. Sorry, the pipe because it's here. Love to have a knife here, but I think that's like not even a thing. Good enough. Melee weapon, another axe, very good. That's lucky. We got a double gust segment here. I'm gonna go over here, grab this one, swing into the other one. Do that so I can bust open the barrel, because I want that grenade. These guys can block axe shots, which is unfortunate if they do, but thankfully we're fine. Okay, so grab this grenade. Got a segment of pretty boys here. I haven't talked about these guys enough. Pretty boys are gun enemies. As in, you fight them with a gun by default. They have a really good moveset, but they can only attack linearly. Like, they can only attack you directly in front of them. As long as you're doing proper movement and staying out of their lane, they're not going to be a problem. They also will drop health items when they die, which is really useful. I could drop another grenade here, but I think I'd rather save that. The boss of this stage is one of the harder ones. Okay, so our weapon here is the hammer. Yeah, this should be fine. Hammer's pretty decent. It does the job. Now we get a revamp of the stage 1 theme. What I really want is that guy's knife. I don't know if I mentioned it already, but knife guys are the hardest enemies in the game. So making sure you apprehend them quickly is crucial. Take this one. Did not want to grab him, but I'll work with it. Okay. Jump back, please. Very unlucky, that. And their movement is way better than I want it to be. Oh yeah, you get this really cool Azuna drop as a command grab. There's a small frame window where you can actually get a superior version of it. Better damage. Punisher screens roll out when he does it. It's really cool, but can't expect it. Go for it. Get it. Great. Don't. Move on. So move down here with some more gun enemies. Particularly want to stay out of the way of the guys with the Tommy guns. They're a real issue. Okay. Take that. Take that. Yeah, I don't really want that lance, but I do want this grenade. So for these enemies, I'm going to try and two-cycle with these grenades. Not quite. Really close, though. From here, I want to take this barrel with me to the boss fight. This has a healing item in it, so I'd rather have the safety. Chuck this. Okay, so Return of the Guard Droid is a really difficult fight. This guy just does a really, really good job of imposing his will. He has a really strong moveset, and he's way faster than the first version. When he hits the ground, he has a random chance of quaking the floor, which doesn't do damage, but it causes some really annoying hit stun, doing a lot of dash movement. Oh yeah, I forgot, you have a dash in this game that's in the form of a roll. It's 8-way direction, so you can just move it around in a circle, which is really useful. In fact, it's critical even. I'm trying to keep those other enemies alive as long as the game will let me. Wait for me. Because ideally I'd like to be able to keep gun active for as long as I can. Don't want to pick that up. Okay, so now I have a pretty boy. So now I'm pretty much locked in with a gun for the rest of the fight, which is really nice. Drop a grenade. Trying to see if I can get his arms off. Okay, that's fine. Let's do this until he's dead. Okay, reasonable enough. Yeah, it actually is a Ghosts and Goblins lance, which is really neat. It's definitely the reason you know it's a Capcom game. Okay, so pretty decent boss fight. I had a lot of resources in my favor. Guard Droid behaved for the most part, at least for the first wave. On to our last stage. Now we're in the penthouse. So this is tough turf, clearly. Didn't realize how much these two games had in common. First segment is just a gun wave. Nothing too difficult. Just gotta take them out. I tend to stagger my hits because I'd rather not knock down. Knock down means it goes slower. One more jump kick. Turn around. I keep shooting until I get 2 grenades to drop. So got now. 3 grenades, very good. I'm gonna take care of these guys as long as the game will let me. Break this because there's a grenade over there. Okay, so we got a knife here. This is legitimately one of the hardest enemy segments in the game. So I gotta be on really, really good behavior and execution here. I meant to dash. I missed it. Drop that. Took him out too. Do that. Try not to use more than 2 grenades here. We'll do a third though. That's not good. Yeah, so here's the thing about Wildcats. They're actually programmed with perfect spacing, which is really messed up when you think about it. I'm gonna wait on that a little bit. Drop a grenade here. Really wanted to hit him, so it's very unfortunate I didn't. That was also bad. Missed a lot of crucial hits there. Yeah, break out, please. Okay, so I'm gonna try and avoid more hits. I'm gonna wait on the roast until after I get through these enemies. Hopefully they won't kill me. The bigger scare is the fact that they're flanking me. Otherwise I can just roll out of the way, no problem. Come here. Okay, I want you further on screen so I can get your health drop, thank you. Okay, so this segment's pretty tough. I'm gonna see what kind of weapons I have. We're definitely going with Lance. The only weapon I'll take over Lance here is Axe. So we can stun lock Scully against the wall with the Lance, which is really nice. At least up to a certain point. From here, I'm just gonna sweep until he's gone. He's the biggest threat in the room outside of maybe that Wildcat, but even that's debatable. Oh, didn't want that. I was trying to pick that up, but that's okay. Okay, so drop him. I don't want that axe yet. Good knife combo there. Very useful. Take that. Okay. Onto the elevator. This segment's pretty critical. Also has great music. I love the elevator theme. I got as many enemies as I can to get to gun segment. Okay, so gun segment's fun. We just get to pelt enemies. We can use the dynamite that drops if we want to, and it's pretty decent, so I tend to use it. Did not want to get a re-grab there. That was unlucky. There we have Jigsaw. Jigsaw's our mid-boss for this stage. He can do some really annoying things. But if I get the axe and I'm able to lob that damage on him, we're gonna be all the better for it. Finish him off with that. I'd actually rather have knife here. It's actually really good. That was one of the best Jigsaw fights I've probably ever had. Move on here. Okay, so this first segment is the last room before the final boss. I'm just gonna try and just take these guys out until this guy shows up. That was very unfortunate. Get over there. Okay. So this segment here is gonna have some stuff. This is the axe, right? Yeah, we don't want that. This has extra health in it, so I'm gonna take it with us at the cost of time. So we have some non-gun enemies here. We do have a gun segment because we also have gun enemies, like these pretty boys. Wildcat there is the biggest threat by far, so I was really hoping to hit him with that axe, but he didn't respawn in time. Okay, so the biggest threat is gone. My goal here is to try to get one of those pretty boys to stay alive before I move on to the next segment. Take out the other one. Okay, I can leave that. So I want to keep this gun for these knife guys. These knife guys are a real issue. If you have to fight them with melee, they're very much a nuisance. I'll try and face him. Okay, so now we'll have more enemies come in. These time they have guns, but we have to move all the way over here to get them to spawn. There we go. There we go. Now we're talking. Okay. This is the food barrel, so we'll take this. Right? No, this is this one. My bad. I messed up. It's over here. Drop it down. This is our hit squad. Got a bunch of ninjas with one Gus. It's actually a red, but it's a Gus spray, so whatever. Break out, please. I did not break it. That's unfortunate. Away from me. Crowd control here is critical, but it's also very difficult. Particularly because stuff like that can happen. They can teleport away from the wall and just cause all kinds of problems. Did not want to take that death. That's for sure. I'll still be able to finish, but that death was not cool. That was just the game being a jerk. Okay, so take this. Should have grabbed the health, but I didn't think I was gonna take that much damage all at once. Okay, so with 2 lives and 5 grenades, we can definitely finish this game off. So here's Kingpin. Biggest Kingpin spread I've ever seen. We're gonna start off with a grenade. Put him over to the wall. Do another one. This is also speed strats. If I ever going for like a deathless run, this wouldn't be a viable strat. Put him to the wall. Basically gonna sweep at him until my health total runs out, and then go for it again. Won't be able to do enough to finish him off. We're still in good shape. 1 hit left. That was actually really close. Grenade into oblivion, and that'll finish us up. Really unfortunate about the previous death. I've never no-missed this game because my first ever run had 2 deaths, and optimal speed strats in this game do require 1 death so you can get a grenade refill for that fight. So, yeah, that's what it is. Maybe one day I'll try to learn no-miss because you can deathless the Kingpin fight, just not doing that strat. You have to do this really fun chain grab strat. Thank you all for the GGs. That was actually a really good run. I was really happy there wasn't a death in the Bushwhacker fight, and the Guard Droid 2 fight was really solid. Oh yeah, even in death, Kingpin's got swag. He can't let that go. I think of all the games I'm featuring this evening, this is the only one I've done for an episode of Kentucky Fried Coin Ops. It was actually the very first episode. That's weird. What did it do? Oh, I see what I did. Trying to set up the layout for the next game, bear with me. There's also one more thing I want to do on this game, which, to my knowledge, is exclusive to the, to the Capcom Fighting Collection version of the game. Where is it? Oh my goodness. All right, hang on, y'all. I believe so. I've actually never checked. Weird as that may seem. We got our thanks for playing. So we're gonna go back to the menu real quick. Okay, so everything's set there. Hang on one moment. Not about that. So you can actually set your starting stage here. And for some reason, after the last stage, we have this thing that just corresponds to a bunch of question marks, so nobody knows what the heck it is. We're gonna pop our credit in. Let's just board this plane. Just hold the button. Skips all the way to the end. Clears stage 7, which is mythical. And roll credits. Quite the Easter egg. I forgot how I found that. I think I was just curious what all the question marks meant, but I thought that was really funny. Like, I guess you could say that by stage, you could do a stage 7 once you see the game, and there might even be speed strats for it, but it would be optimized very quickly, so I just think it's really funny. So I do it for no reason except that. Give me one moment. I'm still trying to mess with the layout. I goofed on something. I can't type today. Punisher's so much fun. I was disappointed to actually drop that 1cc during my 4K follower special because I've been really consistent at that game, but I had a horrible stage 4 and even worse stage 5, so stuff happens. I had to go for the Deathless Kingpin fight and it just didn't work out. It'll get it a proper run back on my own stream. So I got one more game that I wanted to play for you all tonight for sure. I think that's probably going to be it, but this is a game I've very much come to enjoy over the years. I didn't know this was even a game until 2018. And first learned the 1cc for it, and I think it was early 2020. Hello. So this year's Knuckle Bash. A game that I always love rediscovering. The premise of this game is absolutely ridiculous. It was developed by a company that's primarily known for shmups called Toplin. Prior to this game, since I don't really play shmups, I'd never played a Toplin game in my life. I'm actually trying to remind myself of what exactly they did develop. So they were responsible for Zero Wing, the Truxton series, Twin Cobra, Flying Shark, Slap Fight, the arcade version of Snow Brothers. They have a pretty decent pedigree, but this was their first attempt at beat-em-ups that came out in 1993, and by then the fighting game craze was already well underway. So the layout of this game and how it plays out is kind of fascinating in a way. So it has beat-em-up mechanics, as you can see, but it's almost a boss rush in a way. So most new screens you advance to show like a versus screen, like if you're playing a fighting game like a Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat or something. But it shows it like a versus screen, which kind of adds to the flavor because it's a beat-em-up about pro wrestlers, which is, as we know, is completely absurd. But showing it's like this person versus this person, it's like it has good flavor. The music also rules. Toplin never slouched when it came to their soundtracks. So our 3 playable characters are, one character doesn't matter. He's not on the screen right now. We have the Elvis impersonator, who's very good, but I've not learned how to properly play. Dropkick loops are really good, and they're really hard to do, at least for me. And the Luchador, who I will be playing as. You also get the option to switch characters in this game after specific stages. You unlock more characters as the game goes, which is not a feature that's in a lot of games. I think it's like this and Gaia Crusaders is all I know of. So that guy with the blonde hair and the blue pants, we will be playing as him. He's the worst character in the game by a whole lot. Like, absolute low-tier trash. I don't expect to see him. In fact, I've been making fun of him a lot. This game also has rolling dialogue, so the intro and outro and some of the mid-scenes have some really fun dialogue. I'm going to try and recite that. Anyway, pop our credit in. I've never done the Fierce Battle. I've only done the Off to Destroy, so we're going to do that. Pick our Lucha friend at 3, 2, 1, go. And our first opening text. Becoming a professional wrestler has always been my dream. I'll fight to the end to see this from your mad bulls, Red Heroes and Age. Chicago Hotel, Secret Me has been arranged. Carlos said obtain the service of Power Ninja Mental Woodward. Who's an excited ninja warrior, resides in Hong Kong, and is a skillful cutting fighter. That was one will stop at nothing. The hero skill that's happening, even if it means. I did like 4 flips there. That one's the harder of the two. So you don't know it yet, but that's our final boss. That big ugly looking hog guy. We start off by just hitting some dudes. If you wanted to, every attack string you do ends on throw. Those are really good. Okay, so he's taken care of. Nobody get hit by this wake up. Now the bellhops are gonna get on the action. Get on the car, please. That was a little awkward. I couldn't get on his axis. Thankfully I didn't get hit. So, one interesting bit of lore, this is called Hotel Rats. I think it was supposed to be called Hotel Star, but they messed up the translation. Because star is rats backwards. Also, that guy at the counter is definitely trying to calm things down and having a heck of a time right now. A little bit of dropkick cancels. Also, I love the fountain. I won't comment on it, but it's a really funny fountain. So there's our versus screen that I was talking about. We're gonna fight this road warrior wannabe. Knock him down with a slide. Wake up grab attempt. And then we just keep doing this and hope he doesn't have a wake up move. Usually if you're right on top of him, it doesn't work. We're just gonna keep going for this. You do have a super joy in this game, which I'm doing there, but you won't be seeing too much of it. So now we have our stage 1 boss. Window blows open, lots of glass. Can't hear this guy. So this guy in the coveralls, I don't want to be near him on his wake up. His wake up is really good. He has this rolling wheel kick that's really hard to deal with. Okay, so guys, what's up, Kiki? Good old Bull Clan. So after the first stage, we have one of 3 of the most testosterone-filled bonus stage in any game. With really good music. And check out those glutes. So as you can see from the screen prop, we have to match the attack button, which we're doing right now. And basically you have to outmatch the AI. And there are reasons for winning that. If you win the bonus stage, you're guaranteed a full health up. If you don't, you only get a small amount of health back. All right, for this guy, I actually want to focus. This quick kill is pretty important. All right, that's... I can't put into words how critical that quick kill is. If you miss that, that fight becomes a real chore, and I probably lose the credit. What's up, crab meats? If that guy breaks out, he gets to go to the back and summon idiots, and we don't want that. So another part of our moveset we have is a slide. Slide is pretty good. It lets us go under a lot of stuff. Got the easy Honda dudes here. Okay. Make sure we're working them. Now to our stage 3 boss. For some reason, the previous boss we fought is the only thing in stage 2. So here we have this Blanca-rilla, because he's a gorilla that looks like Blanca in terms of colors. Right away, I'm going to grab him. Put him to the wall. Now I'm going to try and go for slide evasion. If he dodges the slide, I just grab him and go for that. This. Good fight. Okay, you can block in this game, and the blocked animations are quite sexy. Another one of the most testosterone-filled bonus games of all time. The first 2 are actually pretty easy. The third one's quite a bit harder. This music slaps. It's so good. So we got about 120 to 130 inputs per their 100. And yeah, you just have to outmatch them. Okay, so stage 4 is actually actually pretty tough. It has an easy boss fight, but the first two segments are among the harder ones. And these guys won't make this look difficult, but trust me, they are. These guys have good everything. Good normals, good wake up. You don't have iframes in this game, so if they just want to do stuff like just combo hits like that, they can do that. Trying to take care of them quickly. Yeah, you're in range. Yeah, but didn't break out of that. That's an unfortunate death. Did not want that to happen. Come here. Okay. Oh yeah, you can do that, can't you? Okay, so took a death in that stage. Don't love that. This room's also really hard. This is the only time we see knife guys, and they're definitely a problem. Why they look like Ronald McDonald, I have no idea. God, the trades. Okay, so thankfully Slide's still a really good move against them. Okay, on to our boss. Quick spoiler, this is actually our first unlockable character. So we have found Hayate the Ninja Warrior. We're gonna do the same strat we did against Blockarilla. Try to go over to Slide to grab setups. If we beat his wake up, so be it. If we go underneath him, grab him, throw him back in. Do this. Okay. Pretty good fight. Still bummed out about the death at the beginning of the stage, but it's what it is. So now we've unlocked Hayate. Unlocking a new character guarantees you a full health refill, which is really nice. So we're going to switch to Hayate, because Hayate is very, very strong. We get another tech scroll. My journey takes me to Battle Kingdom, headquarters of the Bull Group. It's rumored that one of them wants out of the organization. It seems she doesn't agree with their methods. I too was once part of the temptation of the Bull Group. They're nothing but a gang of criminals, evil as sin. So Hayate's really fun. It's also a very good character. So for the Vader twins, my goal is to keep them separated. So I'm gonna do throw loops where I keep one on the left and one on the right. Thank you. He died of the splash damage to the throw. That was great. Can't complain about that. We are due one more extend in this game. It'll happen when we hit 500,000, so that'll help. But the rest of this still needs to go well. Love that walk animation. So we have a rematch with the Road Warrior character. Same strat as before. Walk over his wake up, do a great loop, take him out. He had a wake up throw. It's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate because the next stage, or the next bonus stage, is by far the hardest. We may not get a full health refill. What's up, Saria? But the rest of your stream went well. Walk animation, so sexy. Okay, so this bonus stage, basically I need this to happen if I'm gonna have a better chance in the next stage. This upcoming stage is maybe the hardest in the game. Gotta go for it. Got there, yes. Beat him by 13 inputs. Nice. We take those. Almost to our extend. We'll get there. So there's our other unlockable character, the Johnny Max of the game. We're gonna start off with a Super Joy, which is this really, really good tornado. Do it again to kill his two underlings. Drop him. Goes for a touchdown. Jump to avoid. Do it again. Do it again. Didn't want that. Yeah, that's really bad. I did not want to take that damage. And he is not behaving at all. That sucks. Don't love that because that puts the next fight in jeopardy. jeopardy. This next boss fight is the hardest in the game. So this may not be a 1cc. We'll have to see. I do have some really good strats for this boss now that I didn't used to have, so I'll just have to hope for the best. So here we have the Sheik in the barbed wire ring. We're here. Walk up again. One more. Let him get up, do his thing, knock him out of the air. That should have worked the first time, so I don't know why it didn't, but still, it's a good strat. I also learned last week you can actually neutral jump kick him out of that, which is really strange, but still. I'll join you and fight to them. So we've unlocked our last character, and our boy J-Max here is pretty strong, so we're gonna play him for our last 2 stages, which is just 2 boss fights. So we have this Kabuki guy with a fan, this banger of a track. This guy's gonna fly in, we're gonna touchdown, drop him immediately, block his wake up. Interesting, he didn't do a wake up. There we go. We are taking chip damage from blocking, but it's not a big deal. Okay, good fight. So this will take us to our last boss, and we actually are going to get a full health refill, which is really nice. I'm hoping that's enough to take it home. 2 lives should be enough, but if he acts up a bit, I might be in trouble. I knew all along you'd defeat me. I think you can destroy the bulls. I hope you will succeed. Good luck. Thank you, Kabuki Giant Baba. Okay, so as mentioned before, our pig mask here is our boss. I don't know where he got this lab from, but we're gonna start off by punching him a bunch of times. Suplex him out of the corner, made out a dash punch. Do it again. Made out another one. Okay. So now he's gonna go for ground pound, but we can beat his ground pound with ours. Okay, so we can actually do something with this. Actually go for a deathless fight here, or not. One more. Alright, that's a 1cc, very good. That fight went exactly as I needed it to. That was actually a sub 13, not bad. One more ending piece of dialogue. They were a formidable opponent. Is this the end? That guy sucks, remember that. That's right, we have one thing left to do. What's that? Take control of our destiny. And Phantasy Star 4 ending screen! That's a little text scroll to end. This game rules. I love this game. Thank you all for the GGs. What a knuckle bash it was. Just another great meme to cap off a great game. Wonder what they'll call their stable. Of note, and I'll talk about this more when I show this game off for KFC. I think this actually ended up being Toplin's last game. They closed for business the following year in 1994. I don't know if it was that game that did them in or not. I'd hope to think that it wasn't. But yeah, it's the best thing about it. Like it is absolutely an anime ending sequence, and it's glorious. I love it. It's so fun. But yeah, I don't quite know what the deal was. Obviously, the reason they went out is because finances. Even though they were highly successful in the 80s, the 90s weren't quite as kind to them. Part of me is a little bit curious about that. So in March 1994, they had declared bankruptcy. Turns out the actual last project for them was a game I had featured on KFC before, and that was Snow Brothers 2 with New Elves. A couple other games after that, like Sorcerer Striker, which is actually a Rising game, but Toplin was a consultant, so it's it's kind of a sad ending to such a nice legacy, but at least they still live on. Like, their IPs are all owned by a Japanese company named Tatsujin, and I mean, they're still releasing like Snow Brothers stuff. So anyway, thank you all so much for hanging out with me this evening. I hope you enjoyed our little bonus stream. I think we've got more coming up later this week, but for tonight, that's going to do it for me. Do be sure to tune in for any other bonus games that might be happening later in the week. Gonna throw on the arcade music. Sorry, arcade sounds, not so much music. This has become one of my favorite things to use, just as like transition. Alright, looks like we're gonna host Toad. Doing some daily nippa. Sorry I don't have a proper outro screen, but I appreciate y'all hanging out nonetheless. For those who don't know, Toad is definitely that person. Toad's awesome. Fellow RGL teammates. Go ahead and pop that in the raid channel. Alright, and y'all have a fantastic night. Take care. Have a great weekend. Keep on enjoying retro. Do also be sure to join our Discord. We're currently accepting submissions for our annual Retrothon coming up in April. And don't forget to tune in for the Mario Marathon on the weekend of, I think it's March the 7th through 9th, leading into Mar-10. So, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, I clicked a thing and a dumb thing happened. Let's try it again. Oh, okay. Looks like we rated.
You get a pistol, you get $3. $3 jackpot, and you get all three.